Okay, in the earlier part of the video I showed you how to copy the image of FreeNAS onto a USB drive. So now I'm going to show you how you can boot from that USB thumb drive. So I'm going to turn on my computer. I just inserted the USB stick into my computer. I'm going to power it on just like that. Got to go into the BIOS, so I'm gonna, for my computer it's delete. So I'm just gonna keep pressing delete until I get into the BIOS. And I'm going to change the boot priority. That's better. I'm going to change the boot priority in my computer. For this computer, it's plus to change the order. Okay, I'm going to boot into the USB drive first. Your computer may be a little bit different in the way that you could set the boot priority. But for my computer it's like this. So I'm going to press escape, save, and exit. Now it's going to boot into the USB flash drive with FreeNAS on it. Now it's booting. Get the camera to focus. You could buy a NAS unit, or you could just use or you could just install it on any computer. However, your computer does have to have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM in order for you to use this. So, and another benefit of using the NAS unit is it uses very little power. I think it uses anywhere from 40 to 60 watts. And this computer has a 250 watt power supply, so it uses considerably more power than a standalone NAS unit. So now I'm going to install it, and I'm going to select the drive. Okay, I'm going to go to install, and I think you press spacebar to select it. So this is what I want to install it to. Enter. It says warning, this will erase all partitions and data on ADA 2. You cannot use ADA 2 for sharing data. So that's where the operating system for FreeNAS goes on. So you can't share that drive with the network. Installing on flash media is preferred to installing on a hard drive. Proceed with the installation. Yes. And you just make a password. I'm going to make something simple. Okay. So for this computer, it doesn't have UEFI BIOS. It has only legacy boot BIOS, so I have to use boot via BIOS. So if you have a computer that was made in, let's say, 2013 and after, it will probably have a UEFI BIOS. But this computer was made in, I think I put it together back in 2009, around September. So this is like an AMD 2 Regor 245 CPU with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it doesn't have UEFI BIOS, so I'm going to select boot. But if you have a computer that has UEFI, then select UEFI, but for me I don't, so I'm going to select that. For me, I don't want to swap, but you could create a swap, you know, with on a USB stick, but I don't want to do that. No swap for me. I just want to boot into that 160 gigabyte hard drive. Just have to wait until all of this installs. It's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm just going to talk about the NAS unit. It just means network attached storage. So basically it enables you to use hard drives in the NAS unit, or in this case my NAS computer, to share files, kind of like a server or something. So it attaches the hard drive and attaches it to the network. Hence network attached storage, basically. And like I said, the NAS unit is the company that makes FreeNAS also makes Synergy NAS units. And these cost anywhere from $300 for a very basic model to as much as a couple of $1,000 for NAS unit, which has many hard drives in it. And basically these NAS units don't have very powerful CPUs in them. That's why it doesn't use a lot of energy, you know. think they use Atom-based CPUs, but I don't think you need more than that in order for you to use a file server. So if you have a lot of hard drives, you should have more than 8 gigabytes of RAM in it, basically. So I just have an extra computer laying around, so that's why I'm installing NAS on it, basically. Yeah, this computer was just stored away in my garage somewhere, so decided to take it out and turn it into a NAS unit. Fortunately, it had enough RAM and everything. And I think you need at least dual core processor. You could use a Core 2 Dual based computer like a Dell Optiplex, maybe 380 or something. Okay, the FreeNAS installation on Ada 2 succeeded. Please reboot and remove the installation media. Okay, let's reboot. I have to go back into the BIOS now and change the boot configuration again. So I'm going to press delete. For your computer it could be F2 or whatever. For mine it says press delete. So now I'm going to remove my USB flash drive with NAS on it. So I took it out. Go to boot. So I'm going to go to hard drives. And I'm going to select the right hard drive that I'm going to boot from. So this is the right hard drive. So the 500 gigabyte hard drives are going to be used for sharing. So that's that. And boot priority. Okay, great. So exit and save. Now it's just going to boot into the NAS operating system, FreeNAS operating system. And when it first does this, it takes a little bit of time for it to boot up. Just auto boot. Just going to automatically boot into the FreeNAS O.S. One of the benefits of getting the NAS unit is you're going to have a significantly cheaper electricity bill at the end of the year, because the NAS unit uses, the Synergy NAS unit uses Synergy NAS unit uses very little energy, you know, and 250 watts if you leave it on all day and all night for 365 days. I think that would cost maybe $300 a year just for the electricity bill. So by getting a NAS unit, if you intend to leave the server on 24/7, it may be worth it to get a NAS unit, you know, because you could leave it on all day and all night and it's not going to cost a lot at the end of the year. So that's the only thing, and after maybe 2 years the thing would pay for itself, you know, the NAS unit, opposed to using a computer like this. I'm just doing this for fun, you know, as just a hobby for me, but okay, that's loading up. And if you by any chance forget your password, you could go into this console and change it if you want, if you forgot your password. So basically I'll show you how to do that. Look at the interesting artwork. What I have to do now is I need to get the IP address so I could put it into my web browser. And I'm going to write that down when I see it. Okay, so my IP address for this NAS server is 192.168.1.120. And let's say I forgot my password or something. You go over there and you press 7 and then you press enter and then you could change it, but I'm not going to change it because I already know what my password is. So when you get to this screen, your NAS server is ready to use. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my computer and enable it basically. Okay, now I'm going to open up a web browser and put in that IP address that I wrote down earlier. 192.168.1.20. Your IP addresses may be different, so make sure you write down the one on your computer. So this one is root. The password is the one that I made up. First thing I have to do is I need to go to storage. Need to go to pool. Add. I don't have any pools here because it's new. So I have 2 hard drives here. I'm going to select both. And I'm going to write down a name for it. Okay. Select both drives. So I have both. And I'm just going to create it here. So all contents on this hard drive will be erased. Yes. Okay, so the pool was created for those 2 hard drives. So now I need to go to user. I'm sorry. User. I'm going to have to add a user. Create a password. Confirm it. Just type in the same password. What I created. See if everything's correct. I put my name, username, password, confirmed it. I think that's it. Set a directory. Save. I don't want to save that. Okay, good. Now I have to go to sharing. Windows shares SMB because I want to be able to test it on my Windows-based computer, which I'm recording this with. that. That's, you have to go all the way down there to ACE 1000KS. That will be the file folder I will be sharing. And after that, go to save. And I want to enable the service. The SMB service has been enabled. Okay, so configure now. Okay, I want to go here and I want to put inherit. Make sure that's enabled. Make sure that's selected. So I want to go to user, and the user that I made up right now was this one. Now it's created. I want to go to my file folder and see if that is showing. Maybe I should log out. The IP address, perhaps? Okay, that worked. So what was the password? What was the username I created? Okay, now it's detecting. So I want to go here and create a shortcut. My desktop. NAS here. FreeNAS. And this is my FreeNAS folder, or you could do it another way. I could map the drive as well. Select yes. Okay. So now it's mapped to my Windows Explorer, which is this one right here. Shows that shows the free space of this hard drive, and looks like everything's done. I'm going to put some files here. Create a file. Okay. delete that. Okay. I'm gonna go back in there. Maybe I have to change permissions. Let's see. User, edit this. Let's see now. Whoops, wrong one. I'm gonna see if that works. Okay, good. Now that works. Test 2, and I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, now it works. Now everything's good. Okay, great. Okay, thanks for watching. My Ace 1000 KS 1975 signing out.